touch base with you all, but with what's going on in Egypt, I have to speak out because people who are seeking freedom, democracy, the ability to vote, to have a say in who leads them, um, became fed up and they voiced their need to have this type of government that is a democracy, and they did it peacefully. It was so peaceful that they had their children out with them. And Egypt has been, at least for the last 30 or so years, ruled by a dictator, one who uses police force to maintain the goals of the regime. And so now the people finally have the courage, the motivation, and energy to say no more, no more. And it is the responsibility of the rest of the world to stand up with them and support them, because they are fighting for, and I use that term loosely because they're not fighting, but they are standing up for and speaking out for their rights. And these are the same rights that each individual in the world desires to have for him or herself. We each want to be able to voice our opinion, vote, live in a democracy where people have the right to pursue happiness and have liberty. So it is our responsibility to stand up and support them and speak out as well. Unfortunately, the Mubarak regime has hired Mubarak protesters to come on the scene, and these pro-Mubarak protesters have brought violence with them, and they are harming and killing the non-violent anti-Mubarak protesters. Now, peace is always associated with what is right. If you have to pursue what you want with violence, then there's something wrong with that. And these people are representing Mubarak, and these people are behaving brutally towards the peace-keeping anti-Mubarak protesters. Unfortunately, the United States of America, due to its geopolitical strategic positioning in the Middle East and its interest in oils and minerals in the Middle East, is very reluctant to tell Mubarak now is the time, and even to send over military force to remove him if need be. I believe the United States has more power than it is letting on. I believe that if it truly wanted Mubarak out, that it could do so. But because of the political interest it has, it is reluctant to do so, and yet stand by and watch innocent, peacekeeping human beings be brutalized, and hope that they will become weary and stop protesting. This is the hope of Mubarak, to cause enough damage, to hurt enough people, to shed enough blood, and to kill enough and run over enough till the remaining protesters say no, till they become afraid for their own lives. And this is corruption in itself. If Mubarak hasn't shown his true colors for the last 30 years, he's showing them now. And I ask the United States, is this what you support? This is a man who refuses to step down when the whole country doesn't want him. And instead of being a brave soul and speaking to try to quell the issues, he stays locked up like he's in a fortress with armed bodyguards in his palace. Like a coward. So, he has appointed his vice president, President Solomon, who is just a change of faces. Solomon has the same policies he has. That is no solution. And for the United States to support that sheds a bright light on the United States and cause one to continue to question, where does the United States truly stand? And I have to speak out and say the United States stands on the side of Mubarak. And the army there. The army, yes, has not attacked the protesters, but now that violent goons have come on the scene and are terrorizing the peaceful protesters, the army is failing to intervene for that. And their purpose was to come in and keep peace. Well, now all hell is broken loose, and they're standing on the sidelines. So it makes you wonder, whose side are they really on? Because now these people are being attacked and killed and beaten and all of that, and they're just standing by and letting it happen. I personally think that they have not taken action for fear that them taking action against the protesters would only garner more world support, and that the heads of these military groups were trained in the United States military colleges. The United States prepared these men to fight the way that they need them to fight. And so I believe that the United States could play a heavy hand in telling the military what to do. Now I want to talk about Israel, the state of Israel. Number one, the state of Israel was placed in the backyard of Palestine. Say you have your home and you have your beautiful home and it has a nice backyard, and here comes some homeless people and they decide to set up tents in your backyard, and they haven't even asked you for permission to do so. Yet they get the support of others who don't have the right to be in your backyard either, to be there by brute force, supportive force. And that is wrong in itself. If you have to take something violently, if you have to take something that is not yours, then you're standing on the wrong foundation. You're standing on the wrong principles. And if you support any group that does that, then you're also standing on the wrong side. The United States supported the establishing of the state of Israel in the Palestinian backyard.